My religion has a theme. It has it has a revelation that has been attested through time, through different prophets, different people, and we can see that it doesn't stray from the belief, from the main belief of it. So spirituality to me is just another way of someone making up something in their own heads that they're comfortable with, so that they don't have to face God Himself. So to me, it's just another way of saying, "Do as Thy will." That's all it is. And you can make up anything in order to make yourself feel good. That's really all it is.
Disagree. Do you know why? Do you know why I disagree? Yeah. Because it's not people just making up do as Thy will. It's not people just making up stuff as they're going along. There's people out there really asking themselves real questions, asking themselves, contemplating, reasoning, researching, trying to find proof to their hypotheses, and the ones that have documented, and there's information out there of what's been documented. Like for me, the reason why I accept Hermeticism, why I accept metaphysics, is because the philosophical books that are out there make sense to me. When they talk about the attributes of God, the definition of gods, those philosophers have thought about these questions, intellectualized God, and came down with a concept and documented it. And when I read it, it makes sense. So it's not do as Thy will, because these people have documented it and I've agreed with it. So I can't come along and try to change what that says or add to it unless it makes sense. And until this day, it hasn't made sense. This ideology has been around pre-Christianity. It's ancient Egypt, it's ancient Atlantis, it's ancient civilization. Most religions come from their ideology. Is their ideology? You can find it in other religions. So I just go to the source, to the oldest big brother. That's what I go to.
Okay. That's another lie that they like to tell, that spirituality comes before religion, which is absolute nonsense. Christianity didn't start as a religion; it started as a spirituality. Okay, Abraham had a certain understanding, a certain relationship with God, and so on, and that grew in itself. Now, what you've told me, the reason why what you told me doesn't make sense is because what you're saying is, regardless of what you said about the philosophers and all of that doesn't mean anything, because it's still subjective. It's still up to that person's opinion or that person's personal experience. There's nothing there to kind of check against it, to kind of say, you know what, whether that person is going right and wrong, because it's too subjective. It can come from anyone. It can come from anything, and everyone can have their own different interpretations. That's the reason why spirituality doesn't make sense, because it never formulates into anything that a lot of people actually really believe in and really want to follow. No, it doesn't, because then it would become a religion. Until then, it's just your interpretation of what you think spirituality is, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's so subjective.
What's the true religion?
Don't worry.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, but because that's what I'm trying to say about spirituality. It doesn't make sense.
No. I've got a rebuttal for that, because you're saying anyone can come along. But your religion went through the same process that you're talking about, that you're trying to disqualify. When Abraham was around, there was no religion, or there's Judaism, and then Jesus came along and said his stuff. So it evolved into Christianity, yet it divided the Jews and the Christians. And then when Christians are there, Muslims came along, Muhammad came along and said, this is the way. So you lot actually did what you're saying, spiritual people, how you're trying to discredit the spiritual way. You lot went through that process, and you are trying to, and your religions, your Abraham religions, have been divided accordingly. So you don't make no sense now.
No. I do make sense, because for one reason only. Christianity is the biggest religion in the world. The relation. Hold on. The claim that Abraham had is, it was God revealed it to him. Whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, that's neither here nor there. But whatever whatever Abraham claimed that was revealed to him, that has grown into what we call Christianity, the Christian religion today. So you cannot say that it's the same thing as a person doing their own personal research, coming up with this idea that they're somehow spiritual, and because it's so open for interpretation.
But you know why? The Hermetic spiritual way isn't popular, because they don't go around promoting their beliefs. They don't go around trying to sell their religions like Christianity. Christianity is only number one because they went around parading around trying to sell their BS. They did it by persuasion. They tried to do it by peace, and they did it by force. The spiritual people didn't do it by force. They don't even care what spirituality you're into. They're into it for themselves and for themselves only. So it's not about who's popular or who's not. It's who it resonates with. And if it's the truth, if yours is the truth so much, why are you going around trying to sell it and fearmonger everyone all day long? Because that's all you lot do.
But obviously,
and you put what you call it. You did it by force, by killing people and coercing people, and then now you can't do it today. Christianity's on the decline. Since you lot stopped deading people, you lot have been on the decline because you lot can't stand on your own truth.
All right, okay, boom. All right, Christianity obviously resonates with more people today.
Yeah, with you ourselves.
Hold on. Christianity obviously
you sold it.
Yeah, people believe in it. Christianity obviously resonates with a lot of people because it is the biggest religion today in the world. so that there just don't make sense.
That doesn't mean it's the truth.
Hold on. The idea that Christianity was spread by force is absolute nonsense.
It doesn't mean it's the truth.
We know that the Nubian kingdoms all converted to Christianity without no force. We know kingdoms from Nigeria all the way to Angola, they all converted to Christianity willingly. There was no force. So all of that is absolute nonsense.